Okay. Took a little bit of a break. Had a sore throat. Now I'm back. Cracking my knuckles better than ever. Anyways, looking to build something. Keychron Q1. Probably gonna have to do some mods to it. That's fine. Mods are fine. Anyways, before I get into that, I did want to take a quick look at these. These are stabies. So, nylon housings, palm stems, and wires, and everything else you'd need. So the wires, both 7 and the 625, it's in a piece of foam. I'll have to check the straightness later, off stream. These housings are smaller and different than other housings as far as the size of the opening at the top. So this was nylon, and this is definitely palm. It's slippery. Well, they're both slippery apparently. I'll have to try these in an upcoming build. There's definitely less wiggle room, which is interesting. Kind of interesting about that. Guess I should put that I'm streaming somewhere. Oh, I'm gonna have to get feedback. That's not gonna be good. Do I have this set up to do self-promotion? Keychron Q1 build with Lavenders. Guess I'll copy and paste this a bunch of places. Well, I get started. Self-promo. And then I forget what places have self-promo and which don't. Some of these places I don't think really have self-promo places, but I guess I better start doing that. I'll have to actually figure out which servers actually do have self-promotion. Would be a good thing to know. Streamer self-promo. Sure, why not? Put my face everywhere. Should probably get a different picture than just my face, so like a keyboard or something. No one wants to see my face. Huh? Real friends drag real friends into crippling addictions. Hello, hello. Rating with a party of 13, thank you. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. JVFFW. How are you? Did you have a good stream? Did Jeff is good? Okay. I was thinking about it, I'm like, Jeff, something like that. Thank you very much for the raid and host. Thank you. What did you end up doing tonight? Hopefully everything went well with your stream. Yeah, I'm Javer, by the way. I'm just getting started building a Keychron Q1 today. KBD 67 Lite for a giveaway winner. Nice. I don't know. Some of those boards I probably should go back, pick up just to try them out and use them. I tend to just sort of skip around and buy whatever I'm interested in, which is, I guess, a little bit weird, but yeah. But that's awesome. Glad you had a good stream, man. Anyways, I was sort of monologuing for a little bit here. Actually, I just got these in today. These are Stabies. Got 2 sets, actually. So the housing is nylon, the stems are palm, and the wires, at least the long ones, are embedded in a little bit of foam, which is nice. I was just saying, commenting on the actual tightness of the housings versus the normal stuff that you see with Duroc. Or I've been using Gatoron inks more recently. So I'll be looking forward to building with these sometime in the future. I actually want to play around with them a little bit before I jump into a build. Yeah, I'm very curious on how they are too. And since they sold out on Canon keys like immediately, I'm actually relieved that I got 2 to try out. So I think the first time I'll probably try them out is whenever I get my B-stock frog in and figure out how to source a PCB for that. That'll probably be the first build I'll try these out in. So, and then hopefully they're good and more people can buy them and they'll be more available later on. Anyways, I'll set those to the side for the moment, and I have to get the board that I'm going to be building from over here. Excuse the random GMK sets. I got this in a little bit ago, but I have not even opened it yet. Looking to build it, basically compare it against this board I have here, which is the GMK Pro, just for basically getting my friends into the hobby and trying to see what they would like. So, yeah. As far as GMK Pro, I've already built one for a friend. He really likes it. But as far as just having something else, I was kind of curious what this one would be like, and if perhaps one of my friends would want me to build it for them. Or if I end up not liking it as much as the GMK Pro, it might be something I might just give away to a friend for a Christmas present, so. Not a bad gift, I guess. Anyways, this is a hot swap build, so it should be fairly quick and painless. And hopefully I can do some, maybe some modifications to the board afterwards. So after hearing about people's opinions of this board stock, it probably needs a little bit of help. Trash down there. Let me even get rid of this keyboard for the moment. Pull up the GMK later for comparisons. So Keychron Q1 is their 75% keyboard to sort of have a, I guess, premium feeling board that would rival the GMK Pro. So we have booklets, reminder to make sure pins are straight before you insert them, always a good thing. Please be gentle and make sure pins align with the socket properly. Good tip. Manual for customization. has a list of all the parts that come with it. Quick layout guide. So it looks like we're stuck with one layout with a 6.25 spacebar. Alright. Switch system between Mac and Windows. And it does have layers. Layer 0 and 1 are for Mac, layer 2 and 3 are for Windows. I'll have to remember that. Warranty tutorial, connectors. Okay, the rest of it seems pretty normal. We'll go through that. What else comes in this box? We have gasket strips, a ribbon cable, some screws, some bump-ons, and 2 dots. I'm not sure what those dots are for. Might actually have to use the manual to figure that one out. We have a 2-part coiled cable. Interesting. So this is like a 5-pin aviator type connector, it looks like. The material actually feels okay for the cord. Gonna guess that you need to unwind this and have it lay out for quite a while so it unjanks itself, because it seems like it's a little bit tightly wound in there. I'll put that back. And we have the keyboard inside this pouch. Oh, and there's a layout guide at the bottom for a quick start. Nice. Put this back on. And here's the keyboard. So we have the USB-C switch and switch in the back for Mac and Windows. Make sure it's on Windows. We already have the bump-ons installed. Nice. I can hear my heater going. All the screws are in full. And if I'm looking at the stabilizers, it has some sort of grease in the corners. Hey, yay daddy, thank you for the follow, man. But it looks like it possibly has some lube in the housing with the wire as well. I'll have to check that. I'm not planning on using the stabilizers that come with it to give it the best chance possible. In the GMK Pro, I did use aftermarket stabilizers, being Duroc V2, so I'll probably, well, I actually have prepared some Gatoron Ink Stabilizers, so I'll be using those. Alright, so what does this case need? I'll have to figure out what size that this is. It's one of these larger hex ones. That's too large. What size is this? 7/64. Too large. 3/32 fits. All right. Get that put into the screwdriver. Okay, sort of interesting how they used gold hardware. I think if I recall from the pictures, they also use gold hardware too, so interesting. Kinda like it. As a GMK Pro, the screws did not impress me with that one. But these actually feel a little bit more substantial and I guess easier if you have the right tools. I also feel like I'm less worried about stripping these out, so that's good. Okay. Guess that's also pretty nice that they include the extra hardware too. It's always good to have more. Alright. Oh, it's coming with the top. Here's the bottom piece. Move that forward a little bit. So we have two pieces of foam here. The second piece is like tacked down to the bottom. I'll probably end up removing this just to see what it sounds like without foam. Is it just glued on lightly? Yeah, it just stuck on. Okay, so that's what the two dots would be, extra adhesive to stick foam on. Let me peel this up gently without... Oh, I already damaged it. Rip. Because I'm not too keen on building with foam if I can get away with it. I want to see if this is actually hollow and pingy sounding first. If it is, I did prepare some polyfill after watching some videos, mostly Mr. Alexodos. And I do have some tape to tape mod. Alright. Bottom sheet a little bit worse for wear. And just scrape the rest of this stuff off, adhesive wise. Don't really want it to stick to anything on the bottom of the PCB. I can grab some rubbing alcohol later if I really need to. Okay. So the top housing then has everything already in. There's a ribbon cable here. How's this ribbon cable staked in? Alright, so you pull the tabs away from the white part and you can take it out. Alright, let's leave it on the top and just take it out of the bottom. Alright. And I guess I'll have to switch the tips real quick and take the daughter board out. That's how this arrangement appears to be. So that would account for some of the other smaller screws. Alright, here we have the USB-C connector, the switch, and we have some resistors R1, R2, and nothing over there. It's labeled C1 and R3. Interesting. Okay. Oh, and then we have the switch part that also came out. I'll have to remember to put that in later. And I guess this comes with the board itself. Yep, alright, so the plate looks like it's already screwed in. So I'll have to do that if I want to take the foam out to get the stabilizers. Guess real quick to look at the top housing here. So there's, looks like alignment pins or spikes. 3. And they're covered in plastic, it looks like, to make sure you don't scrape or damage anything. They correspond to holes. One here, one... No, there's nothing up there. Interesting. Guess that would be if I got a top blocker. Then this pin's at the very top. Okay, interesting. So I guess it's just for alignment and guidance. And then as far as the way they have the gasket mounting set up, it's already set up on the plate itself. Nothing in the middle, and then they have strips on the top and bottom on the far left and right sides. Alright, not bad. Let me put the housings back onto each other real quick. Just gonna try to make some space for myself. Alright. Next thing, since I do want to change out the stabilizers, let me get the rest of these screws out from the plate. Separate the plate and the PCB. These are the same size screws. Yes, they appear to be the same size screws for the daughter board and the PCB, which is good. They've also done different color screws for the stabilizers, which is a big help, so I'm not just guessing what screw that I'm unscrewing. I guess I will build this with plate foam, since it does have the standoffs and everything installed that go through the plate itself. Alright, that just lifts out. Nice. So what controller are they using? Atmega 32U4RC. Okay. And here's the foam. Looks like to be some sort of EVA type foam. Not opposed to that. And then here's the bare PCB with the stabilizers on it. So we have south facing LEDs. We have what looks to be a rotary knob encoder fitting on this one. It has little squares. I don't have a rotary knob available, but I guess that's something I might do in the future if I really wanted to make this different. Backside of the PCB. Oh good, that furnace stopped. That was starting to really bug me. Backside of the PCB looks pretty nice. Everything's laid out pretty nice, clean, and compact. The diodes are fairly large sizes, but that's fine. Since we're not soldering, we don't really have to worry about clearance or room. Or at least I hope I'm not soldering tonight. Hopefully the hot swap doesn't bust out. Alright, let me get these stabs out. As stated, I would like to change stabs out so it's a little bit more of a fair comparison with the GMK Pro that I'm eventually going to compare it to. And then some point in the future, if I still have this board and other boards that are 75s, I'll probably do yet another comparison with other 75 boards that are more enthusiast grade. Okay, So when I unsnap the wire here on just this one stabilizer, it does have a little bit of grease between the stem and the housing, but not much. Looks like they just basically put a dot in the front here, and that's pretty much most of the grease that you see on these stabilizers. Interesting. If I'm looking back here, I could see a little bit of the grease just touching the inside top and the right side of this housing, but not too much. So I guess in theory you could use these, but I will change these out. Yeah. I'm noticing that they don't have any, got some on my hand, they didn't have any fiberboard washers, but they do have what looks to be a painted mask ring on the PCB itself, which I guess is fine. Looking at the traces in the PCB, there's nothing that immediately jumps out as being worrisome as far as it having clearance around the holes, so I wouldn't expect there to be any problems anyways. But I do have fiberboard washers on the stabs that I prepared. Alright. Let me put these in the bin over here. Guess I'll might use them later or something for experiments. I don't know. And I'll move these silver colored screws that go with them into the bin too. And here's the stabs that I have already prepared. I just use a little swag keys tester instead of Gatoron Ink version 2. Switches already installed, and this is just how I test my stabs so I don't spend all night trying to get the wires and tuning just right. So let me take them out and put them onto this board. If I didn't mention earlier, these are Gateron Ink Stabilizers, by the way. I've lubed these up with Krytox 205 grade 0 and XHT BDZ on the wires. Then I've added a little bit more Krytox 205 grade 2 in the back of them, just to help stabilize them a little bit. Alright. I'd moved the board upside down without even thinking about it. Already lost this washer. Fingers always feel fat trying to get a stabilizer washers onto the screws themselves. Guess I'm just clumsy. Okay. Oh. Of course, whenever I'm moving stabilizers, I'll get XHT BDZ all over my fingers. Yummy. All right. Okay, then two more. Oh. Alright, once we get these installed, and sorry for my lack of speed with this one, I am in old man mode speed just so I don't lose washers or screws. So that means I'd have to get up. I was planning on doing this build earlier in the week, but I had a cough that was going on around my family, so I wanted to delay so I didn't just end up coughing and blowing out everyone's eardrums that was listening. But later this week I'll probably end up doing a stream or two to lube and film some switches, because I have two other boards that I would like to build. I have a budget build for a TM680 that a starting out YouTuber had recommended as sort of a cheap go-to budget build that he's built. So I'll probably be using some Gatoron yellows for that. And I'll test it out and sort of see what it's like. I'm more than likely going to be giving that board away to a friend as well. That's he's actually a new father, so a little present for him now that he's not going to get sleep anymore. And then after that, I did actually also pick up a Vast 60 round 2 board for myself to build, just to test that out, see what it's like. Okay. I think I will end up building this with plate foam, just to give it the best chance possible against the GMK Pro, since I've modded that thing with the full kitchen sink. FR4 plate, Stupid Fish foams, that's the specially cut, laser cut EVA foam. What else did I do to that board? I think I used Swag Keys pads as well, under the switches, between the switches and the PCB. I used the PE foam pads for that. Originally I had used the bag that it came in, but I decided to switch it out just in case. And then after that, I actually end up doing the Tempest mod on the back of it as well. So it sounds okay, I guess. Alright, let me make sure that these pins are in and facing the right way. To test out the stabilizers before I screw everything together and put it back in its case, and then start loading it up with switches. In theory, this should be a pretty quick build. So I'll probably spend more time modding it and taking apart and looking at things and taping things up. So and knowing my luck, I'll probably bend a few of these pins too, so always a fun time with hot swap. To the point that I think I almost prefer doing soldered builds, just so I don't have to worry about bending pins as I insert them into hot swap sockets. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm an old person. Since I don't have a top right-hand blocker for mine, I'll just be using a switch there. And we'll just have an extra 2 switches for fun. Why not? We get like 2 or 3 more switches in, and then I'll test out the stabilizers. Alright, and just for reference, this switch here is a black cherry pie for the spacebar, because I've done that with my GMK Pro as well. So again, to give this board the benefit of the doubt, the best chances possible. If I can get the spacebar on, there we go. I'll have to actually listen to that in a second. Making sure it actuates nice and smoothly beforehand, because there might be no point if it sounds bad. This one feels a little slow. Alright, let me take a quick look, or listen. Alright, so issue here was it wasn't, the keycap wasn't on both ends of the stabilizers. The white balance of my face cam is all messed up, so I look extremely weird. I'll have to fix that later. I'm just putting a little bit of pressure and tapping on each end of the key. Just listening for any atrocious rattle or anything going on. I did try to balance the wires briefly. Being Gatoron Ink Stabilizers, I haven't had a lot of issues with having things being horrendous out of the box, so I think they're good. I think I can continue the build. All right. So I guess I can just hold it together and screw the plate back in. Alright. That's all screwed in. Nice. Then I guess I could either install switches or put it back in the top housing. What do I want to do with that? Well, first things first, I should probably put it back in and get the daughter board on. No? Actually, I don't think it matters what order I do it in. I think it'll end up okay. Alright, I'll try putting the switches on since it's against my desk mat, and I can worry a little bit less about putting too much pressure and hopefully avoid having to pull out the soldering iron. We'll see if that's not something I regret saying later. Get my keycap puller out. Okay. So these are Lavender switches. I've lubed them with 205 grade 0. I spring swapped them with long TX springs that are 60 grams. And these have desk keys films. Anyways, just going to press down slowly and carefully, because inevitably with hot swap builds I'll bend pins and then have to straighten them out or just use different switches. Feels bad. I should say the keyboard that I will be comparing this build against is the GMK Pro, as I've been saying, and that build has started out in life as being a tactile build with the glorious pandas. I had originally made them holy pandas until I realized that that makes the housings crunch and tick a little bit, so I switched those out for the Link switches. The Link switches are linear switches, and I think they're feeling okay. I'm not sure if they're really worth the price, though, because it's sort of similar to what Lavenders would cost, which is the main reason why I'm using the Lavender switches, because I wanted a decent comparison between the two. Or at least try to make it seem fair on the face of it. What's holding the switches? Scrabble holder. So these are actually the little U-shaped channels that you get whenever you order switches from Drop. Originally I got a bunch of when I started in the hobby, I was in the tactile gang. I've since then transitioned to linear gang, but yeah, when I bought a lot of pandas early on from Drop, they came in these little U channels inside their drop boxes, and I've just sort of found them convenient to hold things right before I build. That way I don't have to worry about bending the pins, more or less. But for general storage, actually I've been using the Kinetic Labs switch tubs. They've been pretty useful for my purposes of just having things in a big drawer. That's for storage though, after I've lubed or filmed something and don't want to put it in a board immediately. Other than that, I'll keep in the U-shaped holder if I'm going to be building with it shortly, like for this build. The housing. The housing was not all the way shut on this one. That's why it was not going on. I thought I was hitting the pin against something. Feels bad. I thought I was better at lubing and filming switches to put them together properly. Keep drinking liquid so I don't start coughing. Feels dry in my basement today. Guess dry's better than being moist in the basement. Moist in the basement sounds like a bad time. Oh, did I not put this housing down? Or is it a pin? Nope, it's good. Or is it the housing? It's that leg of the housing. Okay. I do prefer soldered whenever I can. I think it's just a little bit of manual fun for me to do something. And I guess I do find soldering somewhat therapeutic, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm alone thinking that or not, but something I often actually like doing on stream, even if it's boring for everyone else. I guess that's just a selfish habit of mine. Yeah, but speaking of other boards and builds that I guess are upcoming at some point, they're still in production, but I did put in for a portal and join that group buy. So I am very curious to see when they'll actually be delivering that. It seems like their estimates were not unfounded optimism. It sounds like they're actually on track to deliver before the end of the year, which would be excellent. Be another board for me to build. And another board that I put in for a group buy was the Freebird 60 from Cubes for All. That's a interesting little starter board that I definitely wanted to build and then gift to somebody, so we'll see if I get that in time. That one felt weird going in. I probably bent pins on this one. So when my A key doesn't work, or my S key doesn't work, that's, I called it. I probably bent that pin. Feels bad. Anyways. Then other boards that should come in, and this is another board that I joined the group buy for, and when I joined the group buy, it didn't actually have a delivery date for it, and that was the KBD Fans Odin board. Original plan was to use something like that for work, but since Gion has released his W1AT board, which I also joined the group buy for, that one, the W1AT, should be delivering, if it's on time, in about 6 months. So, summer of next year. I'll probably end up using that board at work. But until then, I'll probably end up using the KBD Fans Odin board. And apparently that's going to come sometime in December. So I'm actually kind of stoked about that. It's sooner than what I thought. I assumed it would have taken much longer to produce. But then there's other boards that I'm in group buys for that will end sometime around this time, maybe a little bit later next year, so we'll have to see. I guess I'll be a Christmas present for next year for myself that I bought this year before Christmas. And I guess the same is true with any GMK sets that you're ordering at this point. You'll see them probably in 2023, which feels bad. Even if they get new manufacturing nodes stood up, I don't think they're going to be able to catch up in production if they have to do all the initial startup and QC work with whatever new machinery or buildings that they're working with. But even before then, I'm going to have to figure out how to source an 88 TKL board for my Frog. Because I wasn't one of the 50 fast ones that got the Heine 88C board from Swag Keys during the sale. So either I have to buy another Frog so I can buy a board next go around, because I think from what Heine has communicated, he had sent a large batch to Mr. Gian and Swag Keys, so we'll see what happens with that. But if I can at least build one Frog, I'll be happy. But if I have two Frogs, I'd have one for home and then one for my office at work. I'd be fine with that too. Alright, I just need like 6 more switches. And I still have a few extra in the bag too. Oh. Is this housing, or did I just not push it down straight? I just didn't push it down straight. Okay. Apologies if it seems that I'm not as energetic as some people. I am East Coast, so this is a little bit late, but this is when I have time to stream, so I will stream when I have time to stream. Either way, a little chill stream before I go to bed. Alright. All the switches are installed. I'm gonna guess S is probably bent. We'll check that though. Let's get it back inside the top housing. I do find it interesting how they've just omitted putting, well, even on the sides too. That's interesting. So they don't have any of the gaskets on either the side or the top, which I think should be fine. Is there a right side up or an upside down for this? I don't think so, it just sort of fits. Alright. Guess I'll have to get the switch in position first and then slide the daughter board into place carefully. Alright, then I just have to screw it down. Where did I put my screwdriver? It's right here. Okay. I should just make myself small foam block stands or something, so I could just have something to rest a keyboard on when I screw things in for top mounts and things like that. Guess I'll have to find some foam blocks and do that later. Alright, we have it on Windows mode. Oh. Plug in the daughter board. Little ribbon cable. Oh. Alright, clicks into place. Guess we'll see if that's in there far enough. Oh. And let me just plug this in real quick. Fire up via. It lights up. Excellent. Hey, it is via ported. Alright. Keychron Q1, switch tester, matrix, and sounds. Ah, I didn't bend it. Nice. Alright, I guess we can throw it back together then. Actually, let me take a quick look at the configuration here. So, layer 2 is a Windows layer. That looks good. Alright. Delete, insert, page up, page down, home. I'm not going to use insert here. Let's put... I guess I have that arranged for... Yeah, okay. That should be fine. I'll just have to remember about that. They probably set that up for the correct profile housing, so... Okay. So we have the bottom housing here. Pretty deep hole. Guess I really want to make sure nothing was touching that ribbon cable just in case. It's the easiest way to put this on. Because that's going to fall otherwise and it's already attached by a daughter board, it's probably easiest to put this on upside down and backwards. Okay. I need to change out the tips again. Alright, let's see what this sounds like without any tape fill, polyfill, or tape mod done to the back of the PCB. So this is with only plate foam, nothing else. Kind of curious if it's going to be as hollow and pingy as other people have mentioned. I guess before I actually type test on it, I'll need to throw the keycaps on. Guess I'm just getting excited. Alright. Then with any board I build, I'll usually take it into work and work on it for a few days. Try to get opinion and then mod it, and then usually that will follow with another typing test. I'll usually post that on YouTube when I figured out mods and what I want to do with boards. In the case of the GMK Pro, it took me quite a while to figure out what I wanted to do with that board. And then the last thing I did was change everything by taking the link switches and throwing them in there, which I guess really didn't help my case because who knows what it actually sounds like anymore. I can already hear something either pinging or going on with the case when I'm just screwing things in. So the top already has a sort of pingy hollow vibe to it. You hear that ring and resonate. A little bit on the bottom. I have to hit it with more force on the bottom to get it to ring. I might actually end up putting some tape between the two layers as a boundary to keep it from clashing like that and ringing a little bit. Guess we'll see. Let me throw some keycaps on it and let's see what it really sounds like. Because I don't have two layers of fish foam like I do in my GMK Pro, I'm already noticing that the gaskets travel quite a bit, which feels nice. Always good to have a slightly softer experience typing. Alright, I guess this bag is literally extra parts. I really didn't need to bring it out. Cool. Alright, let's get the GMK set out. I'm going to be using white on black because I like white on black. And it's available now. But I do think white on black does look pretty good with most boards. I don't know. I think it's one of the great sets that just sort of matches. Okay, I definitely want to try to keep the flex on this board because that is way different than the sort of stiff, dead feeling I get with the GMK Pro. My GMK Pro, I did switch out the gaskets with, I want to say D65 gaskets from KBD Fans because they had those up as extras on sale. And while they did okay, as soon as I put all the layers of foam and everything back in it when I assembled it, it definitely does not have any flex. It's pretty stiff. I think my top mount board feels more flexy than the GMK Pro, or at least it feels more comfortable to type on, so. Sound-wise, I think this... Well, we'll have to hear when I'm actually typing on it. But if I don't have to do too much to this board, I'd be surprised. Because early on, everyone was complaining about the Keychron Q1 and what needs to be done to it. If I can get away with doing less mods, I am fine with that. As long as it's not just hollow. If it just sounds hollow like I'm throwing something into the depths of, well, you get the idea. Helps if I put this in the right area. Then part of me also wonders if I did Lavender Switches in my GMK Pro, would I like the GMK Pro better? So, I don't know. At some point I'll probably have to run that experiment, lube and film some more Lavender Switches and change out the link switches to actually see what I like. Because I know from testing out Lavender Switches on my own, after spring swapping them to the TX springs, I actually do like the way these feel for myself. Alright, I don't have to break out the bars out of the bottom stack of this set because I need to know where my home row is. That's simply how I type. And then I need the short shift tool. This one. Then I have to say, because of the alignment pins that they have between the top housing and the plate itself, I'm seeing pretty neat tolerances where I don't have to worry about it rubbing the case, so that's always good. A pretty noob-friendly feature. Can't really mess it up. Alright, so we have only one layout. Let's with the 625 spacebar. That's fine, I don't mind if things look a little bit boring and samey. So I think the GMK Pro did the exact same thing with the layout. Oh man. Alright, what am I doing here? Where's Alt, Code, and then Control. Oh, the heater turned on again. Apologies. I do have crisp available if I need to turn that on. If it really bugs anyone, do let me know. Arrow keys. Alright, so what did I say the layout was? We had home down here. Where's row 3 home? Is there a row 3 home? I don't think there is. Why did they do it that way? I suppose I could just change it all now. Alright, so I have end page up, page down, and delete. I guess more natural. Well, I guess I can just have delete up there, that's fine. It's not exactly natural, but that's okay. Page up, page down. What's this? Row, that's row 1. Is this row 1 too? That's row 1. End. But they had home. Guess I'm gonna have end here. It makes more sense to me. And then we had page up and page down. Page up, page down. That's row 3. And what do we say they had on the top? I forget already. Let's plug the board in. We can just check. Alright, Via, do your thing. Insert and delete. So they have delete up here. And insert. Okay. Guess the only thing I have to change then is the home button to end. Oh, that was on the wrong layer. Oops. Home, you're now end. Insert, delete. I don't really use caps lock, but I'll leave it there for now. I'm sure I'll change it all later. Alright. Let me put the keycaps away for now. The GMK tray is already disintegrating on me. I hate these things. Alright. Put it on top of my Dracula that I'm saving. I've gotten crap on my desk mat. Feels bad. Alright. I can already hear that it's going to be a little bit on the pingy side. Let me stop the music. Grab my wrist rest because I'm an old person and I type using a wrist rest usually. Change the microphone around. So I'm going to turn off a little bit of the boost and just put straight gain on this. And I'm going to mute the mic for a second and turn it down to face the board. Guess I'll just show what I'm typing. So we have good old monkey type. I am not a speed demon, so rip to the speed. Mouse clicks at board level. Yeah. Too many mistakes with that one. Let me redo it without the headphones on just so I can hear what's going on too. All right. Hypno, how are you? I don't really hear hollowness in this. If I tap the case, it definitely resonates. I think this case resonating has me thinking twice. Let me pull out the GMK Pro real quick. And here's the GMK Pro. Same keycap set on. If I tap this, it sounds dead. If I tap this, it sounds so resonant. This board is definitely louder. This board sounds way quiet and muted. Guess I might want to take out the foam, the plate foam. Guess that'll be my next thing. We're playing the bongos? Yeah. Playing the bongos, man. Feels weird. Alright, let me turn on the music again. Next track. Alright. So if I want this board to be louder, let me start by taking out some of the foam. It's basically just plate foam, and then I'll have no foam in this at all. Let's see how that sounds. Let me just do that for fun, since this is pretty quick to do. I shouldn't say it's quick to do, it's not quick to do. Alright, before that I actually do want to try to fix this webcam look here. Advanced settings. What happened to you? Brightness, contrast, color intensity, white balance. Oh, I have some color back in my face. I don't know why it went all the way to this side. I looked like a freaking ghost for a little bit. I'll have to actually take a screenshot, then try to match myself with this later. Good enough for now. I no longer look pale white. Man, I don't know what was wrong with that. I'm actually not sure if putting... I know putting top gaskets in here would definitely get rid of resonance. I might actually tape some inside that might be in contact with anything, but we'll see. Let me open it up. So Hypno, how's your MGA treating you? Alright. I do appreciate that Keychron has used this hardware on the exterior of their case. A little bit less worry for me when I'm taking things apart, as far as not having to worry about stripping things. I imagine you could very easily strip things, but I don't know. At that point, it might be your fault. And before I strip something. Then I'll just eat my words, I guess. Alright. So I'll move the stuff over here. Not my conventional positioning. That's fine. Take out the daughter board cable. And I can actually just lift this out then, or do I need to... No, I do need to take that daughter board out. Interesting. Design choices. This almost feels like a job for my WoW stick. I'm lazy, but I don't think I'm quite that lazy yet. Take this out before I forget about it, and there's the slider. Alright. So as far as what actually makes contact, these edges here, so I might want to put a little piece of tape on this side and here. It would be a tighter fit, but if the resonance... Let's listen to this thing. So I'm guessing it's the play between the top plate and the bottom plate is what's actually really resonating hard. Interesting. I have little guide pins there. Let's try just a piece of Kapton tape on the sides. Let me just press fit that in as tight as I can. I'm going to put a piece on each side and then see if the cases halves still fit together. Alright. Will it fit without interfering? Yes. Okay, it actually does have some play between these halves. Interesting. So then from the bottom, I can see the tape sticking out there. Not the prettiest thing, but do I really care? No, I don't really care. So where else might be making contact and making weird rubbing? Okay, so these screw points all would be subject to that. Huh. I know I said I was going to basically do something with taking the plate foam out, but I have gotten myself distracted, it seems. Apologies, this is just me doing mad science hour to have some sense of fulfillment for myself. Nope, I guess I do have to line this up a little bit more carefully. I'm just modding the board as I see fit. When I'm done, I'll actually talk about what I'm doing, but pretty much my idea here is just to make sure that it's not between the top and bottom housing. That's not the reason why it's chattering and making a resonant noise. So this little bit of Kapton tape ideally should prevent it from resonating if it's just between these top and bottom housings or the actual plate themselves. And if it's actually at the contact points where the screws are, I guess I can get some PE foam tape or something like that that's very small and compressible and putting it between. But essentially that would basically just put a gasket layer between the two layers, which I'm not really sure it needs, but we'll see. I am trying this after all, so. Alright, and I just need 2 more pieces, a short piece and 2 long boys. This is not the tape modding I had in mind when I originally started tonight. But hopefully it proves some entertainment. Alright, will the bottom housing fit back on? Yes. It's quite a bit of planned move. Okay, interesting to know. And do I want to do anything about this bottom section or this one? I didn't hear the plate whacking against it, so it's probably good to go as is. And then the real reason, yeah, before I forget, because I almost just threw the board back together before I took the plate foam out, which is the main reason why I opened the board up to begin with. Alright, how lazy can I get away with being? I guess I can be pretty lazy as long as I don't worry about the board. No, that's too stiff. I'll actually have to take this apart properly. Alright. All right. Keycaps going flying everywhere. They just go flinging everywhere. Fun. All right. There we go. That one was stuck almost somehow. That one's not wanting to come out. Get that last, I guess. Oh, too much force. Now that switch just flies out of there. Heh. Man, and to think all this just to do something I should have done in the beginning. Oh well. Nope. Goodbye, foam. Alright, let's do the fun part, put it back together again. This will probably end up snapping a few switches in, and then lining it up with the plate on the PCB. Might be the easiest way to do it, let's try it out. Alright. We'll try this without plate foam and see how this goes. Let's hope I don't bend any pins. Okay. Moving right along, then I'll throw it together, put the keycaps back on, we'll try another typing test, and we'll see what happens. I am hoping it brings out more sound from this board, because with just the plate foam on it, it sounded kind of dead. It felt nice to type on, or at least better than the GMK Pro, which is stuffed to the gills with foam. But, yeah. Then I guess the last resort, if I really wanted to have this board have any sort of sound, I do have more of the PE foam squares I could put onto the PCB, but that will probably be another night, because I don't want to take all the switches off again. It's too boring for me, it's too boring for you. Content is not riveting, as some might say. I'm not pressing down firmly. Okay. Alright, let's throw it back together and see what happens. Guess, do I want to screw this together? Does it matter? In theory, I probably should. But do I really want to? Let's try without screwing it together too. What's the worst could happen? Alright, need to position the switch first. Then slide the daughter board into place. Next I'll need to screw that down. And we have to get the ribbon cable back into the connector for the daughter board. Needs to be fed in just right. And then clipped. Nope, that's not in. Just need to use the tweezers smartly to guide it in. Alright. Try putting this on. Change out the bit. And I guess let's see how this sounds in a minute. Nice and tight. Notably, that sounds much sturdier, but we'll see if it actually makes a difference. And if the board sounds better like this, without foam. Guess I'm just gonna pick up random keys and start throwing them on. Still feels nice and bouncy. I do like that. Q. C, L. Man, I'm gonna test my knowledge of what key should go where in a second. Might have to bring another keyboard out to cheat, not gonna lie. Oh. control. F7, 8. Let's see. That should go there. This, I think, should go here. This is cheating time. Here. 6. Caps lock. Oh, totally missed the stem. What just made that loud pinging noise? I don't want to hear that again. Are these lubed? Yes. I have lubed these with Krytox 205 grade 0. F9. R1. Oh. Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong. Thank you for that. I'm sort of just autopiloting, trying to get keycaps back on. Not gonna lie. F. Question mark. Which one is this? Down. Five. HP. P should be here, right? F2. M. And then N. To Z. So it's code. Oh, I messed that up already. Oops. I forgot the other bracket. M, N, F4, 6, G and H. There's page. Wait, I had 2 page downs? Oops. Huh. Guess I just have page down and page down labeled. Not like I'll ever really look at them when I press them, if I use them. Huh. I forgot the minus. Oops. 3. P U T V. No, V's 1 over. That's right. VCB, right? And then X goes there. That's right. ERTY. UIOP. I think that's right. This board does have a nice amount of bounce to it. But I think this may have brought out a little bit of hollowness. Okay, remove these screws. Alright. Time to tape. Hey, how's it going, Mashiki? Let me plug this thing in. Can I do this blind? Haha. Wonderful rainbow colors. Shout out to Mashiki. And before I forget, because at the time I was busy talking and thinking about what I was supposed to be doing for the build. Jeff, thank you for the raid early on. Hopefully you're still here. Hopefully you're not on the call. What was I doing? Yes. Let's open up VIA one more time. Make sure that after putting everything back in that this actually is good. Okay, didn't bend any pins. That's a relief. Let me get... Oh, that was already up. Dig the wrist rest out. And do a little bit more typing. Let me change the mic settings. Alright, slow typing incoming. Clear some stuff away from my mouse. My house is creaking and doing all sorts of weird stuff. It's fine, it's cold outside, so the heat on. Take these headphones off. Alright. Clicks at keyboard level. And slow typing. marginally better. 80 mods. Yeah, honestly, I don't think it sounds bad. It's quiet. But I like the actual very comfy, forgiving nature of the gasket implementation that they have here. And then doing a little bit of tape on the perimeter, not actually on the PCB itself, has taken care of most of the resonance from just tapping the board. So that's interesting. This actually isn't that quiet of a board. But what I'm comparing against with the GMK Pro with, you know, PE foam in it, it definitely sounds muted. Maybe that's just the PE foam, or maybe that's because this is totally stuffed with EVA foam and everything under the sun. Definitely hear the PE foam marble sound in the GMK Pro. But these Lavender switches are actually sounding pretty quiet to me. So both space bars, I've actually replaced this with a black cherry pie as well. Maybe that's just a difference with these boards and the way they sound. So I'm getting a lot more out of this than this. I don't know. I'll probably bring this into work, type on it, and really see how I feel tomorrow. And then maybe I'll have another stream where I'll actually end up lubing and filming switches, but taking some time out in the beginning to mod this board and play around with it. Because I don't think it sounds hollow. I think it sounds pretty muted though. And with the muting, I mean, I would rather probably put some tape under it. Maybe that would change the sound. I don't think it would really mute it, but I don't know how to make that louder per se. Just might be a difference between the board. I'll have to listen to some other sound tests and see what's up. But yeah. But immediately, I do like this because of the flex and the forgiving nature of the bottom out. Whereas this, on the GMK Pro, it does feel quite hard. So, I don't know. Guess that might be my end-all takeaway with all the mods written into this and minimal effort put into this board. If you want something that definitely has the sound, you could probably get this to sound pretty close if you, so I don't want to take all the switches again, but you could probably get this sounding closer, but I don't know. I'll test it over the next few days. I'll probably play around with it on stream too, and I'll probably watch some more videos and see if I have any inspiration or if there's any ideas of things I could possibly do with it. But yeah, that's my initial thoughts with this board. Actually, I really like how this feels with the gaskets. Almost makes me want to take foam and stuff out of this board and see how it would fare. But anyways, let me change the mics back. Alright, just in time to hear the furnace in the background. Turn on some music so hopefully it's not that distracting. Oh, it's loud enough to put ducking into effect almost. Alright. Move this board off to the side. Oh. Just banged my router sitting on my table. Oops. Alright. I think that's probably going to be it for me. Let me look for someone to raid so I can get to sleep and then have a good Friday. Only a few people here. Let's see. Any recommendations, Mr. Frank? Smiling down. Let me take a quick peek. Smiling down. Alright, let's do it. One L, smiling down. I cannot read this channel. Did I type it in wrong? Let me copy and paste. Wait. That looks better. Alright. I'll raid and then turn my stream off. Thanks for joining me. I'll end up going through and we'll see what happens with this board and mods going forward. Oh, let me mute the stream before we go in. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Let's raid and have some fun for tonight. I think that's going to be about it for me because I'll be going to bed. Alright, good night. Thanks for everything. Catch you guys later.
Got some extra peanuts? Presents? Javer, thank you for the raid. Hello. Hello. Welcome. That's a good point. Good evening. How are you doing? I'm doing alright.